Hey everyone, I've been using the iPhone 16 Pro Max since the day it came out, and this phone has been with me all around the world. I've taken so many photos and videos, and I've really put this phone through it. There's a lot of good things, but also some not so good things that have come up during daily usage. And we'll be talking about all of that in this video, brought to you by ESR, and their lineup of iPhone cases offering excellent protection. Learn more at the link in the video description. Okay, so first, the design. This iPhone has really held up in terms of its build and design. It's quite a well-made phone. I have actually dropped this phone a few times on concrete. Maybe I'm lucky, but it's survived unscathed. The titanium frame looks really good still, almost flawless despite a few corner drops, and while the back does have some light scratches, I guess I've been pretty lucky because no cracks so far. But still, this phone is made of a lot of glass, and I've protected the front with a screen protector, but the back, you gotta be careful. It's not invincible, it's strong, but it is glass. But overall, besides the build quality, I think the design here has held up very well. The phone still looks modern, clean, and minimal. I am a fan of this generation of iPhone design. The one major new design feature, the camera control button, is something I do actually use almost daily, but I don't use any of the touch capacitive controls. Pretty much I just use it to activate the camera quickly or activate visual intelligence. And I keep the action button for ring and silent. Nothing really too special, it's kind of boring, but that's just how I like it. One thing I do still really appreciate here is the massive display on this device, and one of the reasons why I always choose the Pro Max iPhone model is because I really like a nice big display on my phones. The display is beautiful. It gets super bright up to 2000 nits of peak brightness outdoors, which I've definitely been enjoying in the sun recently, and it's easily one of the best displays I've used on any phone with the color accuracy, high refresh rate, and just the overall consistency here. I love this display. I really like watching videos on this phone, whether it's at home or on a plane or train. It's a great phone to watch content on when traveling. And this definitely is a big phone, but despite its size, it actually doesn't feel that big during daily usage. The titanium makes the phone feel lightweight, and the borders all around the screen are very, very thin, very minimal, so it makes this massive phone just feel like a massive screen that's really not too heavy in your pocket. So I have no complaints about the size of this device. I chose right. Okay, now the cameras. The reason why I buy the latest iPhone every single year is actually pretty much just for the cameras, because I like to have the latest, greatest iPhone camera experience. And the cameras here, as usual, are great. And it's also very consistent, and as I've said before, one of the best features for me of the iPhone camera system is that switching between cameras feels like switching between actual physical lenses on a camera, not switching different cameras out entirely. Because the quality, colors, and contrast all remain the same across physically different camera sensors. Whether it's the wide, ultra wide, or telephoto, everything looks very consistent. And photos here are fantastic. There's amazing accurate colors, they're bright, and even in low light, shots look natural and gorgeous. I'm quite happy with the results. This is the camera I pick for work, capturing personal memories and shots, and it usually never lets me down unless the camera app crashes, which we'll talk about later. Video recording too, up to 4K 120 frames per second, is beautiful. Shots are smooth, stable, the stabilization is very natural looking, and these video clips also carry over that great color and contrast from photos. Excellent dynamic range. I love how video looks on this iPhone. And adding 120 frames per second slow motion is a great way to get even more smooth shots. Even just for simple motion clips, it's a great way to add a more dynamic feel to these shots. So the cameras here, I really have no complaints. 10 out of 10, great photo quality, great videos, and some of the new features and additions that Apple added to the camera experience with this device have been things that I use every single day. So I love the cameras here. But this leads me into talking about software, which is kind of tied to the camera experience as well, and it's really the only thing about this device that has kind of been a bit of a pain point during daily usage. But first, let's talk about today's sponsor, ESR. Every year when a new iPhone is released, I like to either sell it or trade it back into Apple, and that means I have to keep it in pretty good condition all year to get that full trade-in or resale value. And I, like many people, never bother paying for Apple Care, but something as simple as cracking the iPhone's camera control button glass results in an over $700 repair cost. So a great and affordable investment is ESR's classic hybrid case that protects the entire phone while offering some great features too, including full camera control button functionality like touch, swipe, and click. It all works thanks to ESR's seamless 3-layer structure, which involves a layer of glass, a PCB board, and a PC frame. And ESR's glass cover can withstand 30 kilograms of point pressure and 120 kilograms of surface pressure. So basically, in translation, cracks and scratches, nothing to worry about here. And besides that, the case also offers the strongest MagSafe I've ever experienced on an iPhone case. Great for MagSafe tripods, car mounts, batteries, or other accessories. ESR has essentially upgraded MagSafe functionality. It also has the built-in stash stand, which folds out so you can prop your phone up for watching videos or gaming, and you can also get a version without the stand too. And of course, it's also a super protective case, while still being very slim and lightweight. It has shock-absorbing air guard corners, a raised edge to protect the front display, and a raised edge to protect the rear cameras, and it has 11-foot drop protection, 3 times the military-grade standard. This case offers so much while also still being very affordable, and it's a great peace of mind to protect your phone if you're going to keep it for the long term, or if you plan to upgrade and sell or trade in your device. I'll link this case in the description down below, and a huge thanks to ESR for sponsoring this video. Okay, so let's talk about the software here. Now, as many of you know, I'm a big fan of the Apple software experience on Macs, iPads, and of course, iPhones. I think iOS these days is amazing. It's very customizable, it's feature-packed, I love the consistency across Apple devices, everything works together very well. But the problem is with iOS these days is the overall stability of the experience. I've had more software bugs and glitches this year than I've had on any iPhone that I've ever used. From things like the camera app opening to a black screen where I can't see anything, or it locking up and freezing, to video recording becoming randomly choppy when I start filming and I have to fully restart the device for it to work. It doesn't happen every time I open the camera app, it doesn't happen every day or every week even, but when it does happen, it is incredibly annoying. And if it just happened like once, it'd be fine, but it's happened enough times where I definitely need to mention that. AirDrop has been very hit or miss for me, like sending files, receiving files. It either doesn't work at all, it takes forever, or I have to completely restart the send for it to work. It takes like 4 tries sometimes for it to actually work. I've had problems with AirPlay, I've had problems with Bluetooth, like connecting Apple's own AirPods or Beats to this device sometimes just won't work. I have to fully restart the phone, then they'll pair. It makes the overall iOS experience feel not as polished as it could be. And it's not just me. A quick browse and other people have been experiencing this since day one, and it's incredibly annoying. Because there's really a lot happening here, and I think the main, basic, most reliable features of iOS are starting to not work as well as they used to. And Apple Intelligence, we were promised a lot with this update, but I just don't use any of the features at all anymore. Genmoji, used it for the first week, don't touch it anymore. Image Playground, I just don't like the whole AI kind of look of images. The writing tools, I don't use them. I use ChatGPT if I need help with like a paragraph or something. And ChatGPT support built into Siri was something I was really looking forward to with this update, but it's like so hit or miss. Like sometimes it just gives me a web result instead of using ChatGPT. Other times it does use it, but it takes forever. And the time it takes to actually get an answer back, I could just open up the ChatGPT app and ask in there, and follow-ups and conversational support in ChatGPT is much better than Siri is. And there's still so many Apple Intelligence features that we don't have yet that were promised about a year ago now, so I don't know when those are coming, maybe iOS 19, I don't know. And I know the next version of iOS is getting a major redesign, but I think Apple needs to take a step back and just focus on making iOS really smooth, consistent, and just much more stable. But besides that, like overall performance on this phone is very good. Opening apps is fast, multitasking, rendering video files, gaming, everything works really well. It's just the overall stability of the software experience has been a problem for me. So that's the software, but one thing I have been pretty happy with is the battery life on this device and how well it's held up over the past few months. I mean, overall, at this point, it's been the most consistent and best battery life I've had in an iPhone in the last few years. I start most of my days around 7 a.m. I use my phone a lot throughout the day, watching videos, taking photos, using maps, and my battery hits around 40 or 50% around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and by the evening around 11 or 12 at night before I go to sleep, my battery is around 20%. So it really does last. I'm never actually worried about battery life on this phone. It's always very consistent and long lasting. In between fast charging support and MagSafe, if I need a quick top up if I have a late night, I'm covered with quick charging. And that's the overall story here with the iPhone 16 Pro Max. It's another great Pro iPhone. It offers a lot of great features, a lot of features over the regular iPhone 16. You do get better cameras, a much better display, better materials, but that does come at a cost. The cameras are great, the phone is built very well, the display is fantastic, the battery life is solid, and while iOS is feature-packed, it really does need some refinement. But I want to hear your thoughts on this device in the comments down below. Do you like it? Do you have it? What do you want to see in the next iPhone 17 Pro, Max, Ultra, Air, whatever they're going to call it? Let me know. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe, and thank you for watching.